Founder of Rich Global LLC and Rich Dad Company, it is without a doubt that Robert Kiyosaki is a very successful businessman and a leader in the field of personal finance education. With his bestseller book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Kiyosaki strives to impact the world by educating people on financial literacy. I already gave a book summary on Rich Dad Poor Dad in a previous video, and I highly suggest you check it out before watching this video. I'll post a link in the description. In this video, I'm going to go over 5 important financial lessons taken from Kiyosaki's book. So whether you're currently on the journey to financial freedom or simply starting, these are principles that you want to know and apply in your life. By the end of the video, you'll be much more knowledgeable and better equipped to achieve financial freedom. The first lesson is to find a reason greater than reality. If you were to ask anybody if they want to be rich and successful, of course they'd say yes. However, if you were to ask them if they were willing to give up TV, video games, time with friends, and instead be willing to wake up at 4 a.m. every day, work 12 plus hours a day with no days off, and do this for years on end in order to get a chance at being successful, most people would say no. Most people would often choose a more secure job that allows them plenty of time with friends and family and not miss Monday Night Football. The truth is, the road to success is very long and difficult. You're going to encounter a lot of obstacles and fail so many times along the way. The only types of people who really make it through, they have a reason or a purpose stronger than these difficulties. Kiyosaki states that a reason or a purpose is a combination of deep emotional wants and don't wants. I don't want to work under someone my whole life. I don't want to work so hard and hardly be paid anything. I want to be free and travel the world. I want complete control over my life. If your emotional wants and don't wants aren't strong enough, then you won't be able to overcome difficulties. These reasons will help push you and keep you going even when you fail and when you want to give up. What I recommend is to find reasons that align with your core values. So let's say you value freedom. Then one of your emotional wants should be, I want to live freely. One reason or purpose that I find that really helps people overcome difficulties is when they're doing it for someone else. Whether it's friends, family, or just people in general. There's a certain feeling that you get when you find a reason that's bigger than yourself. When you just find a purpose that just serves others. For me, one of the biggest reasons that really drive me is my desire to inspire and help people accomplish their biggest dreams and ambitions. When your reason is for others and more than just yourself, you're gonna find that you can just push a little longer. This lesson emphasizes the power of spirit. The second lesson is to make daily choices. Kiyosaki claims that financially, with every dollar we get in our hands, we hold the power to choose our future, to be rich, poor, or middle class. What people choose to spend that dollar on will dictate what class they'll fall into. The rich are going to choose to spend that dollar on assets that will generate income for them. The poor and middle class will only buy liabilities believing that they're assets. Even if you did not have a dollar, you still have the choice to invest in the most important asset, which is your mind. Thanks to the internet, learning, for the most part, is free. The majority of courses that you pay for, you can honestly find online if you spent enough time looking. What I recommend is to read books from someone who is a leader in the field that you want to pursue. Their books will give you a window into how their minds work and how they get the results that they do. Kiyosaki warns not to be arrogant and assume that you know everything, because that will simply just close your mind and make you ignorant. Truly intelligent people welcome new ideas and are open-minded. We all have the power to choose, so choose to invest in yourself. This lesson emphasizes the power of choice. The third lesson is to choose friends carefully. You've probably heard the advice about surrounding yourself with people who are successful because you'll end up successful yourself. This is true, and you can learn a lot when you're around successful people. However, you can learn just as much from people who are not successful. In this lesson, Kiyosaki advises us to be friends with people who make millions a year, as well as people who live in poverty. You can learn a lot from the rich on how to gain money, and you can learn from the poor's mistakes and what keeps poor people poor. What Kiyosaki noticed is that people who had money often talked about money, not necessarily to brag, but because they're interested in the topic. People who struggle financially prefer not to talk about money because they think it's rude or unintellectual. What Kiyosaki also noticed was that people who have no money often asked rich people for a loan or a job, while rich people often ask other rich people how they made that money. The point is to listen to both sides because both sides can teach you a lot. The purpose is to get the most amount of information. Wealth is made on the right information. This lesson emphasizes the power of association. The fourth lesson is to master a formula and then learn a new one. Though getting the most amount of information is important, Kiyosaki advises us to be careful what we learn because it can hinder us. In school, we learn the basic money-making formula of working for money, and that's why millions of us are stuck in jobs we don't like and making money we know isn't enough. The solution? Learn more formulas. Learn as many money-making formulas as you can. When Kiyosaki was in his mid-20s, he learned as many formulas as he could from different seminars, courses, and books. The truth is, the world today is changing very fast. We need to adapt and keep up with it. So it's not so much what you know, but it's how fast you can learn. Learning as many money-making formulas not only keeps you up to date with the world, but also increases your learning speed. And this skill is priceless. This lesson emphasizes the power of learning quickly. The fifth lesson is to pay yourself first. This is probably the most important lesson. If there's one lesson in this video that I really want you to take in, it's this one. Kiyosaki believes that if you cannot do this, you should not try to become rich. What this lesson essentially means is to develop self-discipline. Self-discipline is the backbone of financial success, because without it, people would often choose to buy a new car rather than invest it in stocks. This is the most important lesson, but it's also the hardest to master. Self-discipline is what really differentiates the poor, rich, and middle class. To pay yourself first means to allocate a certain amount of money to assets before you pay for monthly expenses. Alright, let's look at it in terms of financial statements. The money from the income column first goes to the asset column. This can be invested in things such as stocks, bonds, real estate, or anything that generates money. The leftover money then goes to the expense column to pay for expenses such as rent, car loans, and bills. Kiyosaki claims that no matter what, even if your cash flow is less than your bills, even if you aren't sure that you can pay your bills, you still must pay yourself first. This doesn't mean to get yourself into debt. In fact, you should avoid debt as much as possible. You do this by keeping your expenses low. So this might mean settling for a smaller house or a cheaper car. Focus on building your assets. The large house and the new car will come, debt-free. However, this doesn't mean that you'll always have enough money to pay your bills. So you want to use the financial pressure of not having enough money to really flex your financial genius and come up with new ways to make money. This requires a lot of self-discipline and mental fortitude. This lesson emphasizes the power of self-discipline. The lessons from this video was taken from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. If you want to learn more about how to build wealth and get out of the rat race, I highly suggest you read the book for yourself. I'll post a link in the description. Well, that's all for the video. If you liked or learned anything, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to never miss another upload. Leave a comment below to let me know what your thoughts are. Alright guys, I'll see you later.